Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 17 of the new year of High on Sports. Actually, 2018, first week of the new edition. I am half of the host, the Rev, with my man over here,
Mr. Mello. What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. Oh, man. Couldn't wait for the new year to come. Another year of...
I haven't had to write it down on a piece of paper yet.
Yeah, man, just another year of getting it together. You know what I mean? Getting older, getting it together, more mature.
Okay, man.
Brought in
more
2000.
mature, not necessarily.
Nah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. We are sitting down here with a gang of weed in a cold-ass garage, so... Maybe we got a long way to go.
The castle.
But what's going on, everybody? Again, Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a safe and fun holiday. I hope everybody had a great time and brought the new year in right. I'm ready to get it. 2018 is our year, man. I think this is where we're going to hit our stride. And we're just going to get better and better.
Have no choice but to.
No choice but to. So, with that being said, let's
get
cheers.
into it.
Small cheers.
Some
Cheers.
of the
Vino. Showing some class tonight. Tonight's
lightweight.
Lightweight. Yeah, lightweight. We're not giving you the visuals, but we got a lot to get to tonight, man. We got some news in Oakland. We got some news in Dallas. We got Benfica preview. We got some Twitter questions to head today. We also got where smoke, there's fire. So
smoke and a pancake.
Let's start it off how we normally do with
Long in a blitz
with our respective games over the weekend. Not much excitement from either one.
Oh, I'm gonna care less about what happened.
I know, but we gotta keep it consistent. Week 17 was what it was. Cowboys, I'll just go ahead and I'll say it for you this time. Cowboys won in a thriller over the Eagles.
Baseball, yeah.
Baseball. Cowboys 6, Eagles 0. Chargers thumped Chargers thumped the Raiders 30-10 in what was a what wrapped up 2 disappointing seasons for both of us. Not exactly what we had hoped for, but as goes football sometimes. Dallas Cowboys end the season at 9-7. Missing the playoffs, had a chance to get there, just barely missed it. Seattle kind of fucked them. Oakland Raiders ended the year with a 6-10 record, and they are what they were. Today, like I said, we got a lot to get into, so let's just start it off with the big news coming out of Oakland. Get your thoughts on that as well. We got Chucky.
Hi, I'm Chucky.
It's not official yet.
I had to cue it up. It ain't official, but it's official. So much so, you're right, though. I do have John Gruden, where there's smoke, there's fire. So he is when there's smoke, there's fire, because you're right, Trev. It's not absolutely official. But it felt super official because I didn't even have time to be really upset about losing the game when they were already getting reports instantly. Jack Del Rio's been let go. I mean, I've never seen it happen so fast. So fast they sent Del Rio to the fucking podium to let everybody know what had just occurred. I'd never seen anything like that. But it happened. And as most of you know, again, Jack Del Rio got canned on Sunday after a loss to the Chargers 30-10. Finished the season a disappointing 6-10. Now, this is something I've obviously been harping on. I've been talking about since, I guess, I want to say the Redskins game. And I have that notated. I did do some show notes. The Redskins game seemed to me was the downfall, was the, where it all started to go awry and where the Raiders weren't able to get back. But, again, this is obviously something I've been talking about for most of the season. It finally happened ever so swiftly. They got rid of Del Rio. He didn't even get to address the team before Mark Davis did what he did, as I had mentioned. So they did inform him that he will no longer be the head coach of the Oakland Raiders, and they bid him adieu. In the 3 years that Jack Del Rio was in Oakland, I will have to admit, he brought if not full winning, he at least gave us a taste of what it might be like to be winners. You know what I mean? Like, just that small taste of, hey, this is what it can feel like on a year-to-year basis.
If build some type of foundation.
Exactly, and it felt like he did.
Mark Jackson.
And I've said that before.
You know what? I heard these guys on the radio talking about that. I've been saying that for a long time about Del Rio.
Hey,
seen
we go back to episode 1. We've probably been saying this since 16 weeks of the NFL season.
He got to go, bro. You underachieved. Fired everybody who came there with. The people you did bring in, who was to replace the people you fired. Aside from Pagano, everybody was shit.
You're right.
You know, everybody was shit.
So in the 3 years that he did coach the Oakland Raiders, he was 25-23 with a win-loss percentage of .521, one playoff game, one playoff loss. It wasn't the best 25-23. Hey, it was what it was. When he got there, the Raiders were, absolutely horrid. To be honest, they were 7-9 that first year he was with us, and that was even ahead of schedule, I want to say. The last year, 2016, they went 12-4, and a lot of people thought, this is it. It's time. The Raiders they're going to turn over a new leaf. I guess Jack Del Rio was the man to do it.
I don't know, though.
You're right. No, you're right. It was, we all assumed that, as mentioned.
Raider fans were assuming that.
Because they were
No, for real.
Not just us, though. It was the media. We were listening to media and what they were saying. A lot of people were on, not just Raider fans. Vegas was on our side. A lot of motherfuckers was on the Raiders bandwagon this season.
Yeah, I've seen this scenario before. I called it a few. I don't remember what week it was, but I said you try to poo-poo it. With the Browns, did the same thing with Braylon Edwards and Derek Anderson a few years ago. Had one good season out of nowhere, and then they were right back to where they were. Now I'm not saying you guys are back to 3 and 4 win seasons. But last year, I don't know. Last year was a good year for y'all. I don't know, man.
And I was saying though, like I was saying, it was a good year for us. We were 12-4. We were a playoff team, albeit Derek Carr got hurt. It didn't end the way.
That really hurt you guys.
It did. It didn't end the way.
I do believe if Derek Carr would have played in the game against Houston, you guys would have won.
I agree. We could have won the game with Connor. Connor Cook.
No doubt.
We could have almost won that game with Connor Cook at the end. But again, disappointing season. After the 12-4, they go 6-10 and looked worse and worse throughout the season as the season progressed. And I had mentioned the night of the Redskins game just proved to be the start of the Raiders' 2017 downfall. Rumors of anthem protests and divide in the locker room started there. Whether it was true or not, we're not going to really know, but it seemed whatever it was too much for Jack Del Rio as a coach to overcome for the rest of the season. The Raiders lost 4 of their last 5 games, and the team performed, again, worse and worse
from
with
that
each
Redskins
outing.
Loss.
Yeah.
There was you guys went on a little 4-week skid there, a little 4-week losing streak.
Yep. Yeah, and it felt like it wasn't going to get any better. I tried to be positive, but after a while, I couldn't help but coming out here and throw them under the bus. And you mentioned earlier, they play worse and worse with each outing. Firing Musgrave and retaining Ken Norton proved to be mistakes, as we all found out later on. Downey was handed the keys that he wasn't ready for. He wasn't ready to handle an offense with that much star power, I guess you want to say, if you could say that or not. But he wasn't ready. We lost the identity that we created for ourselves in 1 year. A pass-happy team that'll throw the ball down the field, stretch the field, run the ball to throw the ball. But it all changed.
Throw the ball to run the ball, because you guys were a pass first.
That's what I meant. What I meant. Run the ball to throw the ball. You know what I mean? Like we only ran the ball to set up pass. You know what I mean? And it worked great.
No, you guys last year you guys were a passing team that set up the run. You passed first. You guys. It wasn't until the past few weeks that you guys really started consistently handing Marshawn the rock.
You're right. And again, that 1 year identity that they created for themselves when Musgrave, or the 2 years Musgrave was there, it got lost with Todd Downing, and it was what it was. Ken Norton's defense played horrible. It didn't get better until John Pagano took over. So
Ken
these
Norton
things are
honestly didn't know what the hell he was doing.
So these things are obvious. Like I said, they proved to be mistakes.
They're a flex on your coach.
It does, man. It does. But again,
that's why he had to go.
25-23 with the Raiders. I appreciate I appreciate anybody that wears the Oakland Raider colors. I appreciate what you've done, except Randy Moss. Randy Moss can go fuck himself, and that's for sure. Said Randy Moss, I appreciate every person who's ever donned a Raider helmet. Whether he wasn't, whether he didn't turn out to be what he was supposed to be.
Even Jamarcus, huh?
Even Jamarcus, yeah.
I can't say that for everybody who's been a Cowboy.
No, I mean, I can say that for most. I at least appreciate him to some extent. Once you're a Raider, you're always a Raider, man. That's just how it is. But again, it seemed too much. It seemed too much for them to overcome. Like I said, I do have to thank Del Rio for his time. He could create buzz around the team. He had everybody really hyped about the Raiders there for some time. There were a couple times where he created some good moments. 2-point conversion really stands out to mind, that first game of the season last year. But again, he's only Mark Jackson type of coach, and it's time for the Oakland Raiders to go get their Steve Kerr. And I guess rumors would have it,
according to Adam Schefter,
it's official. And then usually Adam Schefter's pretty reliable. I follow him. You might be, but that's his job, to be fucking annoying and fucking have all this stuff. I did want to say a couple things really quick. Again, we did have we got to get Steve Kerr. He's back. He's there. Whether they're gonna give him a stake in the team. Now, I want you guys to understand that this is not literally ownership stake in the team. You can't set a precedent like that in the NFL. All right, other coaches won't allow this to happen, because you know why? Because other coaches are gonna expect the same type of contracts where they have stake in the team. Can you imagine Jerry Jones giving anybody any stakes of share of his team just to be a head coach? Yeah, right. Never. Now, so I want to be very clear. This is not literally ownership shares.
It's what this is like a 1%, a 0.5% of something.
It's a contract which allows him to make more money as the team grows in wealth. So they're gonna make a big in value. Excuse me. So they're gonna make a big move to Las Vegas. It's a lot of money's gonna come in. That team is going to grow in value exponentially. It's gonna happen. It's just the way it is. It's not because I'm a Raider fan. It's simple mathematics here. They're going into a multi-million-dollar stadium in one of the the busiest, most
it's Las Vegas.
It's Las Vegas. Yes. Need I say more? It's gonna happen. So what'll happen with this Gruden thing, if he does accept this, is that he will make money as the team makes money, but he's not gonna have ownership say or votes or any shit like that. It'll just be some way that he can make money off of the value of the team, which sounds weird, like, well, that's just fucking ownership, you dumbass. No, it's not the way it is. They can reword these things. They can make it. You can make incentives for this type of coach. It could be a lifetime incentive, lifetime kind of contract, unbreakable, based on what he owns in the Raiders. But again, Chucky's back, and I wouldn't have believed it. We hear this all the time in Oakland. Chucky's coming back. But this time it happened like fast. Like, this was quick, swift. Del Rio didn't even make it to the fucking locker rooms before he got the axe. So let's rejoice a little bit, Oakland fans. The season's over now, right? It's time to go, lick our wounds, sit down, watch some playoff football, and wonder and ponder of what is to be in 2018 for the Oakland Raiders. Just going back and looking at John Gruden, since he is the guy that we're talking about. I do have his numbers here in front of us with the Raiders. His first time, he went 38-26, 4 playoff games. 2 playoff wins, 2 playoff losses. He did spend his time, obviously, some time in Tampa Bay. 7 years, as a matter of fact, in Tampa Bay. He was 57-55.
Won a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl as well against, who else? Oakland Raiders.
The only team that would ever trade a coach.
For 2 number 2s, 2 number 1s, and $10 million.
You best believe if Al Davis was alive right now, this would not be going down.
You did hear me. You did, guys. You guys heard me, right? That's what we traded him for. 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and $10 million.
Like I said, if Al Davis was still alive, this would not be going down.
Well, you know what? I never thought I'd say this, but thank God Al Davis is in the ground, because Al Davis would have never allowed the Raiders to progress to what they are going to be. He would have been stubborn. He would have probably got himself in LA, and we would have been sharing a fucking stadium and as tenants as opposed to owning our own shit. So I'll give one thing. Mark Davis is, a lot of people say, like, there's one dude like on the radio, like Matt Steinmetz. I don't know if we can name names, but he's on radio. He does 95 cents in the game out here in the Bay Area. I can't stand this dude, bro. I
like him.
I hate Steiny.
He's got good basketball knowledge.
All he does is create like these little tidbits of like controversies of these questions. That's all this.
Why? Because he's on 95.7. He's not being a homer for the Raiders.
No. I don't want him to be a homer. But when you sometimes it's reaching. Like I don't want to hear.
What? You got any examples?
I don't want to hear a guy.
Because I listen to him too, and I don't really hear any reaching on there. Because I listen to the same thing.
You know,
I don't listen to it with Raider ears with already biased hate towards someone who might be talking ill about the Raiders.
All right, so for example, I'm talking loosely. I can't verbatim this, but loosely, like today, he was saying that that John Gruden might. He's the game's passing by. The game's passing by. No, I know who it is. All right, I know who it is. And you know what?
Hit him on Twitter.
First of all, you're right. He is really knowledgeable about Warriors and stuff like that. But he does that shit with the Warriors too, like little plants, these little seeds, little Kevin.
And I don't hate it. I actually like it. I don't like it because I hate when people get all superficial about their teams. Like I hate these word fans.
I can't stand it. And maybe it's because I
dick out your mouth like
right.
Come on, like I'm a Cowboys fan, and I say we when I mention Cowboys sometimes, but I don't. And I'm not a Cowboy. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy, so I gotta catch myself for saying that shit.
Maybe I hate him because sometimes I think he's right, and I don't want to admit it. That's what it is too. Sometimes
that's what I like.
Seeds where I just like.
People live in this perfect world.
So let me say that I'm not just throwing some guy on the radio who's making much more money than we are. That's
beside the point.
That's beside the point. But listen. He's a professional. I didn't mean to literally. But what he said today was, has the game passed him by? And that's why I brought it up. Has the game passed him by? I am not of the belief that this game has passed John Gruden by. He's not left for years.
Of course you're not. You want Gruden back.
Listen, wait a minute. I thought this would never happen, Trev. I was one of those guys that like it's never going to happen.
But you want it to happen.
Of course. Bro, the best memories.
You want to live in the past. Oakland Raiders 2002.
The best memories of my Oakland Raiders. The best memories of my Oakland Raiders life were with John Gruden.
These are meant to be in the past. They're left in the past.
I'm not saying nothing like that.
I actually agree with Steinmetz, and I was going to mention that before you start talking about it. I was going to say,
and the reason I'm talking about it is I'll get to it in a minute.
I can't say like. Gruden last coach, I don't know. And when his last time with the Buccaneers,
his last coaching season was 2008. That was 10 years ago.
It really wasn't that great then. He was kind of falling off.
Yeah, Tampa Bay. You're right. But he won the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay. They had
Brandon Johnson. He won that team that had an all-time great defense.
You can't keep a defense like that together all the time. The window's very small. He won what he won and did what he was supposed to do.
Right. But so he started falling off. He didn't. The quarterback guru. Where are the quarterbacks that he's supposed to develop in Tampa Bay? Where did
fucking Sean King in there? Like, well, are you serious?
Well, hey, he's the guru.
You can't turn. I mean, you can put lipstick on a piece of shit, Trav. Sometimes it's gonna be a piece of shit still, my dude. Yeah. I get what you're saying, but hear me out on why I brought this up.
I want to consider Derek Carr.
I'm not of the belief that the game has passed him by. He's not been sitting at home eating a bed and breakfast like the Raiders did with Arshell and Tom Walsh a couple years ago when we fucking went 2-14. All right, this guy's not. He's been in football every day. He's there every day. He runs camps every summer for these quarterbacks. He knows what players, what rookies are coming in. He's got so much knowledge about being not away from the game, but away from coaching. He meets teams week to week. Guess who he's meeting this week?
No doubt.
Ooh. Guess who he's meeting this week?
See.
Guess who he's meeting with this week? The Chiefs. So our future head coach is going to meet with the Chiefs during the playoff game. He gets inside the mentality. I mean, John Gruden. I mean, he's one of those guys. I think he's the guy to do it. And that's why I brought Steinmetz up. I'm sorry, Matt Steinmetz. I apologize, but I'm not of the belief. Okay, that it's passed him by. The Raiders, barring the Rooney Rule, which I'd like to note because I have it here. The Raiders may be the only team who shouldn't even have to adhere to this rule because this is something we've been doing for a long time already. Hire minorities to important positions within our team. Women, Amy Trask as vice president.
What you did in the past does not count for today. Stop that bullshit.
You guys
are a sorry-ass team. Bro. You guys have one winning season in the past 20 fucking years. You guys ain't done nothing to deserve any of this stuff. You got a stadium coming up. Well, you got John Gruden coming over. Maybe.
All right, but you're talking about steps that you should take when you have a fucking stadium coming to Las Vegas.
You don't do it. For what? Interview somebody and get it over with then.
See, but that's the whole mockery of the Rooney Rule.
I know, but that's the rule. That's the rule that the league wanted.
All right, so I would like to say, by the way, unlike your fucking coach, who your fucking owner,
Let me get started on him.
Who probably isn't firing his fucking coach because he doesn't want to adhere to the fucking Rooney Rule. God forbid he has one of those colors in his office.
Jerry Jones is the law.
Fuck that. The law. Fuck that.
He's the reason the Raiders are in Vegas, mind you.
Right.
For real.
Only him. Because the NFL don't have to cast the votes, and there hasn't had to be a majority.
Jerry Jones persuaded.
Jerry Jones. Fucking. We'll talk about him.
Jerry Jones, get the Rams to
him pretty soon.
We'll get to him pretty soon. To all this.
By the way, again,
who I'm not happy with, but I'm saying.
Right. We'll get to him in a minute.
Still respect the man.
Fuck that. We'll get to him in a minute.
I mean, he's done more for the league than any owner has.
That is not even true. Okay, so now
owners got making more money than ever before.
You're talking about shit in the past. What the fuck? You talking about today? Okay,
I'm talking about today.
You're right. And today the game is the biggest sport in the world. Right. Who's sitting at home during a fucking playoff stretch? And they're still the number one franchise, right? Or the number one franchise who hasn't won a fucking Super Bowl since '95. So your fucking American team, nigga. Your American team. Always. Your American team, my ass. My ass. Tom Brady. Hold on. Hello, Tom Brady. Oh, yeah. America's team is the New England Patriots. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that, Tom. You're right about that. You haven't been America's team since '95. Get over it. You talking about what you've done in the past. You want to talk about what you've done in the past. Shit. You want to talk about what you've done in the past. Talk about today. You've done nothing but choke. You've done nothing but choke in the past every fucking year. It's alright. I know his team. No, you're not. How can you say that? In your head. Only in Cowboys' heads.
No, it's facts.
Only in Cowboys' heads, bro.
It's facts.
Only in Cowboys' heads. Ask Siri. Being America's team. You got an iPhone? Ask Siri. So being America's team means what? That you choke constantly every year. You do shit. You don't win what you're supposed to do. We're the top franchise in the world. Nothing for the last 20 years, nigga. All you've been doing is still the most polarizing team of all time. To who? Not to the Seahawks. Not to the Seahawks. Last couple weeks ago. Not to the Seahawks. Not to the rest of the NFL. Been smacking all around since. Who is the best? Who is the top franchise in the world now? Stop, Trent.
All right, I'm gonna look it up for you right now so you can answer this question.
As much as Cowboy fans like to stick their nose in the air and be a little bougie, almost Niner Juniors, you need to forget you've done nothing as well for the richest team. You're right. You are the richest, most valuable team in the world. And for all of that, you do absolutely nothing year in and year out. You built a big stadium for people to come in and beat your ass in.
Football Mecca.
And they beat your ass in there. All the time. You have no
Everybody watches us. Nobody watches you. Who watches the Raiders, Al? Who watches the Raiders?
I do.
And who is that? And who are you?
I do.
Al.
I'm a Raider fan.
I'm a Raider fan.
Soda fuck and you watch Cowboy games, right? So you was
like America, like majority of America does. Look, Al, the most watched games in America are Cowboys games. This goes to basketball, football, baseball, Cowboys games. So you been letting people ratings.
So they lead ratings, they lead money, but what do? You don't do shit on the field. You put a product on the field that chokes every year, bruh. You talking like you're a perennial playoff team who wins playoff games every year, who puts championships in the fucking
right here. What's that say?
Number one. Fuck with that
Cowboys.
Where you at?
Same place as y'all.
Where you at?
We right here.
Where? Same place as where? Where y'all at? What's America's team doing for you? What's your moniker doing for you today?
Number one.
What is your moniker doing for you during the season?
Keep us at the top.
Nada.
Number one.
The top. You're not even at the top of your division.
You just saw it right here.
You're not even at the top of your division.
Number one franchise in the world.
Sure. And
this started out.
Excuse. That's a poor excuse.
Let me remind you how this started out.
What's the Patriots on that list?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So the 6 most valuable team. You're right.
Get the fuck out of here.
You're right. And they win championships.
And what is that good? What's that good to the top 5? Do you root for money? Championship, and we still at the top.
Do you root for money or Super Bowls?
Hey,
money or Super Bowls?
It all comes.
What's that money doing for y'all?
Keeping us at the top.
Keeping what? What's the money doing for you, Trav? Nada. It does nothing for you.
Number one, Al.
Shit. Number one in what? Number one in what?
In the world.
Cellar dwellers being the best or worst. You're the best or the worst
in the world. You guys ain't even on the list, Al. You're not even on the list.
You're right. And they talking about us right now, not y'all. In the news
Who's talking about y'all? They talking about
Gruden back to
y'all got a little 15 seconds of fame right now because Gruden's coming in. We got the world. People talking about us
nothing daily. You're right, and you do shit with it. You're an epic failure, bro. No, the Cowboys are a failure, bro.
Every year, the number one franchise.
Number one franchise, the most valuable. Haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995.
Last time y'all won. If you want to get
95.
Last time y'all won.
I'm not talking about how valuable my team is or how much money we got or how great my own is. And you are. But what do you got with all that for? It's 95.
Of all that shit you talking about, we still number one. No, y'all definitely don't got number one. Y'all only got 5
Number one in what?
Y'all don't even got.
What are you number one at?
In the world. Everything.
In what?
Everything.
In what? Not winning games. Not winning games.
He actually is the most winning franchise of all time.
Not
we are the most winning.
What you're supposed to do. Trev, you're not doing what you're supposed to do, Trev.
I don't know the number one winningest franchise of all time.
When?
Right now.
You're so winningest. Your guys are.
Hey, look at the numbers. We're still on.
What numbers, bro? The only number I give a fuck about is what you've done since 95. How many Super Bowls we won each since 95?
One.
Since 95. Okay, 96 season. I'm giving you 95.
When was the last time y'all won one then, huh?
I'm not
sitting more recently.
Trev, I'm not sitting here talking about how valuable my team is. I'm not stroking Jerry Jones' dick. I'm not stroking Jerry Jones' dick. So why? Because you guys are the most valuable.
So why are we on top then?
With all that money, why are we on top? I have no idea. Oh, because Jerry Jones he's a fucking genius.
That's why.
Yeah, because Jerry Jones is a great businessman. He is a great businessman. With all the money you got, with all the how valuable you are, you do shit. You do shit. I bet you all those other teams on there do something with all that money they got, but y'all the only motherfuckers that got all that money, but ain't got shit to show for it. What you got to show for it, man?
Most winningest franchise of all time, most valuable franchise of all time. 5 Bulls.
All right, those numbers change, bro. Those numbers change. The Raiders used to be the most winningest franchise of all time. You can go look. Those numbers change.
In the first 2 decades?
Those numbers change, bruh. Those numbers change.
Right.
So for all that money you got, you do shit. You do shit. Jason Garrett's your coach. Jason Garrett's your coach again. So just like the Bengals, Trev, you guys are just okay with mediocrity.
Damn near 60 years of football, we are still the most winningest franchise of all time.
Y'all are mediocre.
So we ain't done shit.
Mediocre. Right. Mediocre. Nobody's worried about you guys. Not the Eagles. Right. Nobody.
Nobody's worried about us. Everybody's still watching us.
Who y'all playing on Sunday?
Everybody's still watching us. More fans.
Oh, and I guess y'all love rooting for niggas shit because y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all don't strike.
I can say the same thing about y'all, bro.
You brought this up. Not me. I'm talking about Gruden back to the fucking.
What I brought up was how Jerry Jones is making the league money, how he's changing the game.
That's not how it started.
It is.
No, it's not. I said that the Raiders shouldn't have to pull the Rooney Rule, and you said, "Oh, you can't do shit from what you can't count from what you done in the past."
Yeah, because you feel like you got this shit don't stink over there. Who are you guys?
I'm talking about what the fuck happened
this started with
Sunday.
So this started with y'all. You over here talking about we did this and that. Who the fuck are y'all?
This is Raiders segment.
You all talking about what the Cowboys
Raiders segment.
What have the Cowboys done?
I don't talk about y'all.
What have the Cowboys done since when? What have y'all done since when?
What? You brought this up.
What have y'all done?
You brought this up. But y'all the most valuable.
Right. We stay the most valuable.
No, what you do?
And what do you guys do?
The same as you.
So what's different? Why can't y'all stay on top?
You tell me.
I'm telling you, because you got this shit. We not shit.
You are shit, Trev.
Obviously not.
Do you root for the money y'all make or the games and playoff wins and Super Bowls? What do you root for as a Cowboy fan?
I root for the Cowboys.
To do what?
Whatever.
To do what, Trev?
Whatever the fuck they gotta do. And if they're better than y'all, that's all that matters to me.
What do you root for them to do?
Obviously, they need to win a Super Bowl, right?
But what do they have? No. With all that money y'all got, this is my point. Y'all so valuable. Teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona up there with you guys, those teams are valuable, and those guys win championships. They stay relevant by winning championships. Jerry Jones is a great businessman. He's a great businessman. He's got his hands in a lot of things. Coors, isn't it? He's the only one that isn't sponsored by Budweiser. Is that right? So he's got all his beer money is him. It's just Coors for the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's got his hands in everything. He also got his hands in seats. Like club seats. He owns a company who builds club seats, suites for other stadiums. So when he gets a contract, as you had mentioned, it was because of him that the Raiders went to there. After he gets those contracts, he makes money. I understand that, Trev. But I don't give a fuck about how big my owners' pockets are if they can win games, alright? Robert Kraft is the 6th most valuable fucking franchise in the NFL, and they win Super Bowls. So you're valuable. How valuable? You don't give a fuck to me, bruh. I don't give a fuck how valuable you guys are because you do shit. If you were so valuable, win a Super Bowl for the fucking Cowboy fans. Do something. Go to the playoffs every year.
And he's won 3 Super Bowls.
Who?
Jerry Jones.
Okay.
He's got 3
in the past, but I can't bring up the Rooney Rule and say what the
No, hold on. This is what we're getting to.
Wait, Trev.
You don't get to bring up the past and act like you guys did something without I think that we're shit.
That's what Al Davis did was.
But Al Davis did. He sued the fucking league. Nobody fucked with Al Davis.
I'm talking about actually something.
The Raiders have been shit because of Al Davis for all these years.
This segment doesn't always have to be your negative fucking opinion. Because I don't give a fuck about it during the Raiders segment. I don't. Because listen, what I was talking about was all that I said was that we shouldn't have to do that. And I meant it not literally.
Yes, you did mean it literally.
Listen, Trev. I know it's a rule.
And I'm asking, what makes y'all so special?
I told you why. Because the Raiders were the first team to do this. To hire blacks as coaches. So Mexicans. We had Tom Floyd. What do you mean? It means nothing. It means nothing. It does mean something, but that was then. It means something, but that was then. Yeah, you're right, because it was in the past. If you want to be fucking technical, but what he did, I have to give my guy, my owner, praise. If you want to talk about the Cowboys and how valuable they are, that's fine. But you could wait till 22 minutes into the goddamn podcast until after I was goddamn done with the Raiders. Now, I couldn't let you sit on it. You say like your shit don't stink. My shit stinks. Literally, my shit do. But what Al Davis did, that shit don't stink. That shit don't stink. What Al Davis did in the past, that don't stink, Trev. So I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
You don't have to.
The Raiders have been doing this. All right, we are one of those teams. I want to tell everybody who's listening after our fucking heated debate here that we are pioneers in that sense of that we've been doing this. We don't need a rule to tell us that we should hire these minorities and give people chances. That's where I was going with that. All right, we don't need that rule. We don't need to be reminded. So in that sense, Trev, our shit don't stink. All right, we don't need a Rooney Rule. All right, we've been doing that.
We are the badass Raiders.
Oh, hey, all I'm saying, we the diversified Raiders. We
are fucking Browns.
We are diverse. And you are the Cowboys who are so valuable with nada. You done
quite
shit.
a lot.
You done shit, bro. You done shit. But anyways, all right. After that, sorry about that. That was good stuff, though. Again, not worried about it. Adhering to the Rooney Rule, which we will do. They will hire somebody, or they will interview somebody, just to make a mockery of the whole situation. So really quick, I did this for the Cowboys too. The Raiders' opponents heading into 2018. So we're assuming that moving on, Chucky is going to be the head coach. These are the list of victims that he has to look forward to in 2018. Since we're going that way, we got home, of course, Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs. We got the shits, Browns. We got the Steelers, Rams, Seahawks, Colts. So a pretty nice home schedule. I'd probably want to go see the Steelers. That'd be a nice gun to go watch. Away, we got Broncos, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens away, Bengals, Cardinals, Niners at Levi, and the Dolphins. Those are the Raiders' 2018 opponents. I'm not going to give my prediction on any fucking record or what I think. It's too early. I don't know what's going on. There are people who aren't coming back, and I'll get to those questions because those are some of the questions that we got from Twitter. But those are the Raiders' 2018 opponents. What I want in the Raiders 2018, I want to have a good draft. Reggie McKenzie and John Gruden could go in there and really do work together to finally draft some people who, not even that, excuse me, because if I say finally draft some people, we do got a lot of good pieces Reggie McKenzie has brought over. Yeah. His cornerbacks, albeit,
that's just the only thing.
If he drafts a fucking cornerback again, Trev, I'm going to fucking blow my fucking top, bro. I won't be able to handle it.
No more cornerbacks.
No more cornerbacks in the first round. I think Chuck, get a linebacker, get a stud, get somebody nice out back there.
You're gonna bring Bobin back?
I hope so. I want to. It's not really it.
Sure.
I hope so. Bring Bowman back. That would be nice. He did lead the team in tackles since he came back, and I think John Gruden might want a veteran guy like that in on the team.
I would think so.
You know what I mean? He's not like he lost much of a step. You know what I mean? Looking into the 2018, I just take a look at their statistics. The Raiders team leaders, we had Derek Carr, 3,496 yards, 22 touchdowns. His attempts, he had 515 attempts and 323 completions, so little more than half that he did, but it wasn't as much. If you look at the numbers, you would have thought he had a better season. Marshawn Lynch ended the year with 891 yards and 7 touchdowns, and I think it was on this podcast what I expected from him was about that. I expected a little bit more touchdowns. 890 touchdowns. 891 yards was a little close. I thought he'd have about 900 yards, so I was a little close there, but I thought he'd have at least 10 touchdowns. But hey, 891 and 7 tugs for a guy who just came off retirement, who I expect back in a Raider uniform next year. Played well down the stretch. His antics, I didn't care for too much. I came out here and said, the shit with Aqib Talib and him walking him off the field, and the whole Marcus Peters thing, I thought was completely bullshit. It was completely bullshit.
You a little loud?
Oh yeah, see, we gotta turn it down. Sorry about that crackling. That was the microphone. Might not have picked up all that screaming we did. Receiver. Our leading receiver was Jared Cook, 54 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 688 yards. So that just goes to show you what kind of year Derek Carr had. Tackles, Reggie Nelson, 89 tackles, 60 solo, 29 assisted. So that means a lot of people were getting in the backfield. People were fucking getting on the backfield. Interceptions, team leader, Sean Smith. Can't believe it. With 2. Didn't get those until the end of the year. Again, disappointing season from the Oakland Raiders. Hopefully, it's hard to look back or look forward so far because I don't know what things and changes that Chucky's going to make. Is he going to cut who's he letting go? I do know a couple players I have in mind that need to be released immediately, if not lost their job already. In the third quarter of the Chargers game. Again, our opponents have been set. Our coach is ready to come. It's a matter of them putting it together in 2018. Hopefully they do. Hopefully we can get them. Hopefully we get back to just winning. I'm not expecting John Gruden to take us to the Super Bowl in one season, but I do expect a much better Derek Carr. I do expect a much better defense. I expect an offense that is capable, that looks, how do I say, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, just, able. An offense that just looks able. Just somebody, a good offense that goes out there, runs the ball, passes the ball, do what you're supposed to do, play action, stretch the field. Vanilla offenses sometimes in the NFL are the best ones. Tom Brady don't run trickery plays. You know what I mean? He runs picks, he runs outs, he runs fades. I mean, it's just really simple shit.
It's Tom Brady.
I'm just saying, like, even Drew Brees,
and
things like
Belichick.
Things like that. Drew Brees and them, he runs the same thing. Matt Ryan, those offenses work. I'm saying sometimes the offense is just vanilla work. Those I want him to be Tom Brady. So that's why I compare to the best. You got to compare to the best. So a guy like Tom Brady, you don't need to be great to run tricks, is what I mean. You don't have to run all these trickeries and all these end arounds and flea flickers. You don't need it. Go out there and pound the fucking ball, run the fucking ball down their throats, make them not want to tackle you in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Close games out. That's what I expect from John Gruden. He's going to pound the rock. And Doug was talking to me earlier about don't expect to run the ball with John Gruden. I fully expect us to run the ball. And not only that, but I expect to run the ball downhill. This whole zone blocking shit's just not going to work for the Oakland line that we have.
Well, so what do you think John Gruden's going to do? Because you're talking about bringing John Gruden. He's got a whole new game plan set up for y'all?
Not necessarily.
He's got he does what he does.
I think you're right. That's what I'm saying. He's going to implement his offense. He's going to pound the rock.
West Coast offense.
He's going to pound the rock.
It's a pass first team.
Look, you're right.
Since
You're
when?
right. You're right. You're right. But
where, this is what I don't understand. It's like, where do you? I don't know where you thought the Raiders have become a run team. They're not.
with the offensive money you have in the offensive line.
It's just a pass blocking offensive line.
Last year we had a really good year running the rock, bro.
Did you?
Well, Latavius Murray ran for over 1,000 yards and got a nice contract. I mean, we did run the rock pretty nice. We ran the ball over on there was the game last year against the Broncos. We ran the same play. The Don Penn said we ran the same play like 27 times in a row. They couldn't fucking stop it. I mean, you go in there, you pound the rock. But you got to pound the rock. You run downhill to set up the pass in the West Coast offense. I get it. But John Gruden, to see the thing is, too, all side and think about John Gruden likes to throw that ball to his running back. Charlie Gardner had 1,000. Marshawn Lynch can't catch the ball for shit. Couldn't catch the ball if you fucking underhanded it to him. He's just not a good catcher of the football. He showed. Dropped plenty of passes.
Definitely.
I expect us to run the rock effectively. If not, 40 times a game, we're going to run the rock effectively. We're going to be downhill running. We're going to be play action. We're going to be, slants, fade. It's going to go back, hopefully, to what the Raiders were in 2000, 2001, 2002, when John Gruden was there initially and had one of the great offenses. I hear John Gruden's going to come. Rich Gannon's coming to be quarterback coach. So this is a chance. Derek Carr's in his 4th year of being quarterback. This is not like he's not a broken toy. He's coming off a bad season, but he's not fucking, he hadn't been put through the ringer so far. You know what I mean? He had a bad season. We got a good offensive line. It's not like he's in the Texans or something like that doesn't have a line to protect him. But nevertheless, 2018 for the Oakland Raiders, things just got to change. Things had to change. We got to get better. And I think John Gruden is the dude for that because, as I mentioned, it's just one of those guys where who would you rather have on your side of the rock?
You're going to have a favorable schedule next year, too.
Did you say a favorable one?
Yeah.
I don't know. The schedule's out?
I mean, you know who you play.
The opponents, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but you make the schedule is what you make it, right? We could have won a lot of the games. We could have beat Buffalo this year. We could have a lot of games. Redskins. There's a lot of games we could have still won. You make it what it is, and you were right. Home schedule. I'm looking at that. Seahawks, as you said, they might not be there. Colts, they're terrible.
Yeah.
We get to play the Chargers, Browns at home. We get to play the Ravens, the Cardinals. They're terrible. They're mediocre. Bengals, Cardinals, they suck. The Dolphins, garbage.
Even though they beat you.
So I'm confident enough to where I know Chucky can get us those games as opposed to Del Rio. Like those games with Del Rio, I'd look at them. I'm like, you never know. The Browns go in there and shock the world. Again, go on the sideline after let Gruden do what he's going to do for a couple games, and then go to the sideline and say, hey, who coach would you rather have? Would you rather have John Gruden or would you rather have, whoever it is we're lining up against that week? Most of the time, I think we're going to get John Gruden. John Gruden's just going to be the better coach on the other side. That's just how I feel. I have nothing else to go bad off of. He did win a Super Bowl against us. I get that, but his time in Oakland was beautiful, and I think the fact that he wants to come back to Oakland, he's got some unfinished business. That's a lot more incentive for him to come to Oakland and do great. So that's what my outlook on the 2018 Raiders. And I can't wait already. I'm already looking to trade rumors and fucking all that shit. So I'm already ready. So let's move on to the most valuable team in the world, the Cowboys. Who ended the year with a win over the Eagles, as we had mentioned earlier.
Moral victory.
They did end with a respectable 9-7, but just missed the playoffs. They already had. It's respectable 9-7, but you missed. That's why I said you barely missed the playoffs.
One game above 500.
Hey, but you could have still been there, but you didn't have it.
Even if we would have got there, we wouldn't have done.
There's already news that Cowboys already said that they're gonna bring back. Head coach Jason Garrett.
Garrett's coming back.
For his 9th season.
Coming back.
9th season.
Linehan's coming back.
And I want to go ahead and read, Jerry Jones'
I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it was just in there for a reference. Because he just talks about how he didn't even consider firing Garrett. And how he's...
Why would you want to fire a puppet?
Yes, exactly. And... you know, I don't know. I don't know what to think going into next year because.
Well, first of all, how do you feel about Jason Garrett coming back?
I don't like it.
Let's look at Garrett's now. I got Garrett's numbers right here in front of me.
He's pretty much dead even.
So 8 years in Dallas. This will be a 9th coming back.
He has one 13-3 season, a 9-7 season.
67-53 total.
Fucking 3 or 4 8-8 seasons.
Wait a minute. Well, he's 67-53. All right, overall. He's got 3 playoff games. He's been to the playoffs 3 years in his 8 seasons in Dallas, and he's won 1.
Yeah,
2 losses. And you were mad about him coming back? I mean, the guy's got 1 playoff win.
One playoff win that you want to talk shit. You want to talk shit about? Come on now.
So, what can he do? What can he do next year for the Cowboys? I don't
know.
What is it that he's gonna bring next year for you guys to be fucking good or make the playoffs, win the division?
I don't know. I think our fucking players need to pick their fucking heads up. Des Bryant needs to get his head out of his fucking ass and go out there and play. You know, the scheme, I don't know. The scheme's kind of fucked up, I guess, in a way. You know, there's plenty of games out there where I was talking, numerous weeks talked about Dez needs to get the ball more. And then at the end there, when they did start getting the ball more, like he said, the game before the last against Seahawks, he fumbles the ball out the hands or whatever, you know. But then there's let me see, I just had his fucking numbers up right here. Fucking guy.
You talking about Dez?
Yeah. 2017. So look, he had 132 targets. He had 69 receptions. That's good for a 52% rate. And you know, that ain't getting it done. You know, I don't know, man. It's him, it's Dak, it's the whole team. The line was up and down this year. Tyron Smith being hurt.
They say he's overrated. Do you think Dez Bryant's overrated?
No, I don't. Let me see here. This guy's number 2015, he only played 9 games. 2016, he played 13. But half of those 13, he was still injured for, I remember. And this year, he played a full season. And, you know, I don't know. I seen flashes this year where he got the ball, and he looked like a beast still. You know, but he got a little bit of TO in him. He drops balls on key situations. He'll go out there and make a 3rd and 15 catch, and he go out there and drop a fucking 3rd and 2. You know what I mean? Like, bruh, like that's the easy one. Right. Like that one's in your face. Come on, dude. Just boneheaded shit, you know. And then he goes over there and pouts on the sideline when he's not getting no targets or whatever.
Like most prima donna receivers do.
Yeah, which is understandable because
it's not like we're not used to that.
You know, his last good year was 2014. He had 88 receptions for 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns. Which is pretty damn good. He led the league in touchdowns that year. And then he was hurt the next year, and hurt the year after that. And then this year he wasn't hurt. He played the whole season. He only had 838 yards receiving. Granted, the whole team was down this year. The whole team took a step back. Dak, Zeke being sat down. I had the team's rushing numbers here. The team actually overall still had a good rushing year, believe it or not. They still ran for fucking 2,100 yards as a team.
I mean, Zeke's a beast, bro.
But the way our team is built now is we run. We're a running team. Zeke gets the ball first, you know, and it's just not built around the passing game no more like it was with Tony Romo and Dez. You know, it's not. We got a younger quarterback.
You know what though, and I understand all of that, and this is not has anything to do with the last 40 minutes earlier that we were arguing, but I mean this seriously. I feel sometimes that the reason you guys are mediocre, and I'm looking at Jason Garrett's numbers and they had 2 good seasons in the Cowboys.
He's middle of the pack.
Listen, real quick. Listen, real quick. Is it sometimes Jerry Jones? Like, what is it about Jerry Jones that he feels that? Like, looking at these numbers, what is okay about this, bruh? Like, it's not okay for the Dallas Cowboys to be 5-3, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4, 4-12.
Because if you bought your team for $70 million and then 25 years later they're the number 1 team, who's gonna tell you anything?
That's not what I'm saying. That somebody needs to tell him something. I'm asking you,
like,
what is it about?
Who's gonna tell him how to run his shit? He obviously thinks he knows how to run his shit, so that's what he's doing.
Okay. Aside from how much you guys are worth, is he running it on the field? Is he running it the way he should be running it, Trev? As a Cowboy fan, bruh, like, you can't say you do everything right all the time.
My opinion is not going to be the same as somebody else's opinion. If Jerry Jones thinks that's the way it's best for the team, then that's what's best for our fucking team. Jason Garrett, I don't agree with it, but he's coming back, so swallow the pill and be happy about it. Fuck it.
Just be happy about it.
Fuck it. What am I going to do? Crying, bitch, write a letter, Jerry Jones.
I'm mad, yeah. That's why we do this. So you can be mad and bitch about having this guy come back to the Cowboys who offers nothing. I mean, I think he's hit a ceiling. His ceiling is fucking 9-7.
I think he hit his ceiling when he had 3 8-8 seasons in a row with the team we had then.
I'll give you that.
I was back then talking about we need to get rid of the guy, but obviously it was futile, so I'm not gonna keep worrying about it. He's our coach. That's what it is. Alright, whatever. Marvin Lewis is the coach of the Bengals still. He just got a 2-year contract.
We'll get to that later.
Fucking A, you know?
We'll get to that later.
Like, so like,
but you're comparing yourself to the Bengals. In a sense, because I think the Bengals head coach, owner has the same type of mentality.
No, he doesn't.
As Jerry Jones, keep this fucking guy around.
The Bengals owner, not on the same mentality level as Jerry Jones.
As far as nobody's gonna tell me how to run my fucking team, I bought my team.
The guy from the Bengals this is just a cool job for him, and he's behind the scenes. He's a Mark Davis type of guy. He's behind the scenes. Nobody cares about the Bengals owner.
But that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean at all. I mean the type of owners you have are okay with these type of coaches coaching their football team. Now, aside from how fucking valuable you are, you can keep pumping that rhetoric.
Obviously, Jerry Jones thinks Jason Garrett is winning.
I would expect a little fucking more out of a fucking Cowboy fan who watches games every single day. I'm a Cowboy fan and
I'm riding with my fucking team. This is what we got. Then this is what we got. And I'm going to ride with it. What do you want? He's our coach. Like I said, I was calling when he had those 3 8-8 seasons, it was time to go. But it didn't happen. And so, obviously, Jerry Jones thinks it's cool.
Do you think most Cowboy fans feel that way like you do?
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know. You know?
I'd have to ask because obviously you're only.
I got a couple friends who are cool with Garrett coming back. You know, and like I said, it's hard to say because, I don't know. I don't know, man. He's our coach.
Just is what it is.
He's our coach, man.
It is what it is, man. It's there, yeah.
You know.
All right, they're gonna be better than 9-7 next year.
I think that all depends on the players.
Because
I still think.
All right.
I think our scheme this year worked. You know, not like it did last year, obviously, but. Let me pull last year's numbers here. We ran the ball for 2,100 yards this year. What did we do last year? We ran the ball for 2,300 yards last year. We ran for 200 more yards last year than we did this year. And that's with Zeke missing 6 games still this year.
You got a great offensive line.
You know, so we are a running team. And like I said, this year the players, I don't know.
That's all the Cowboys are. You're just a running team.
We're a running team. We don't take big shots. We don't take risks. we run the ball and we stay consistent because that's what we do. That's what our coach is. Just keep chugging along and keep. So I've been complaining about all year. They just keep going out there. Like some of the games that we lost, we didn't make no adjustments just because we kept trying to run the same thing all game long. Games like go back from the beginning of the year. You know, we the only game we weren't really in
Broncos
was the Broncos game. And there's a couple games. We had a 3-game slide here. We won the 2016 season, my bad.
All right, so Jason Garrett is the head coach. He's coming back.
He's coming back.
It is what it is. Your 2018 opponents, I do have them here in front of me. We got the New York Football Giants, of course. We got the Eagles, the Redskins, the Lions, the Jaguars. Saints come to town. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Tennessee Titans. Away, of course, the Giants, Eagles, Skins, Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Texans, Colts, Seahawks again. You get to fucking play the Seahawks all the goddamn time.
We always play the Seahawks.
What's up with that? So that's your
and
schedule.
we always play the Falcons.
That's your schedule ahead. It does. Well, you play that division, so you're right. But you do play that division next year.
This will be like third straight year we played the Falcons.
But you do. Well, again, you do. Yeah, that's true.
Granted that we are playing division.
You're playing division this year. Just happened to be here, I guess. But you do play the Panthers.
We get the Colts
away.
this year.
You get the Colts. You get the Colts too. You got the Jags at home.
Lions.
You get the Saints. You need to do what you need to do type of type of fucking schedule. And I don't know. I didn't realize looking at Jason Garrett's numbers that I can't look at these numbers and I can't say that I can't expect the Cowboys to go 13-3 next year.
8-8, 8-8, 8-8, 12-4.
It would be almost. 12. I would be
13-3, 9-7.
I'd be remiss to say.
That's right down the line.
I would be remiss not to say that he might go 8-8 next year. Just like if we going on just stats, and we're not stat guys. I'm not normally a stat guy. We just got him set up today. We got set up perfect today.
Nah, he'll either be
9-7.
Nah, the team will either be like 12-4 or it'll be like 4-12.
It's gonna be either one next year.
Either one, because the talent is too good and the team is too volatile.
If you're 4-12 next year, Trev, and we're sitting here again next year, and we're sitting at the end of the season, we say at the end of the season,
that trigger.
And when Jason Garrett comes back, and you say it is what it is,
well, I won't be saying that.
I'll turn the mic off
because I doubt it.
Because that's bullshit, Trev.
I
don't give a fuck what you say. You might want to rock with it this year, and it is what it is now, because you can't do anything about that. You're right. I have to give you that. But fuck, man. I was really actually a little surprised. I thought we were actually going to come here and talk about how we both fired our fucking coaches at the end of the season.
I had a feeling from the start that Jerry Jones was going to fire Garrett.
It's not going to happen. He's going to give him his 8 years, and
he's.
Sometimes it works for people, sometimes it doesn't. But what do you expect now? What do you expect? Cowboys 18. What do you want in the draft? What is it? What do you want to do, man? How you wanna come into 2018?
It'd be nice. Yeah, the draft. We get a linebacker in the draft would be nice. Maybe a D lineman, even though we're gonna bring back Lawrence. So that'll be nice. Our defense, I like where our defense is coming along. I like what Rob Marinelli is doing with the defense. So if we get us another linebacker in there, because we might lose a linebacker or two this off season. You never know with Sean Lee. So we got Jalen Smith in there, but he's still coming along. So we get another top young linebacker prospect back there. That'd be nice. And then if we just go into next year, just doing what we do, pounding the rock, controlling the game, and just not shooting ourselves in the foot and letting games slip away late. That's we had a few bad games this year though, and I don't know, man. I'm a big opponent. Coaching does a certain part to it, but then I'm still a believer. Players got to play, and so you obviously run the same scheme that you ran last year. What's different? Because teams are giving you the same look they were giving you last year.
It's not what's different. It's what's the fucking same, Trev.
You know.
That's what we've been talking about. It's what's different. It's what's the same. Jason Garrett, it ain't a Cowboys coach.
He is.
He's the Cowboys coach. He isn't a Cowboys coach. You get it? Like, he's not that guy. I'll take Wade Phillips in a heartbeat back.
Oh, yeah, heck no. Eggnog.
Eggnog. Alright. So, let's go ahead and wrap up.
See, now here's the thing. It's funny you mentioned Wade Phillips because
good coordinator.
Wade Phillips came in after Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells came. The team was going down. See, we had a guy like Quincy Carter was our fucking quarterback and shit. Bill Parcells had to come in and clean up shop. Jerry Jones let things get out of hand. So he brought in the big Tuna to clean things up. And then once the Tuna came in and cleaned things up, Jerry Jones kicked him out and took over again from ground zero. He had a fresh plate. You know, it's like, I'm bringing in T.O., this and that. Tuna was like, man, I can't fuck with T.O. You know what I mean? He never even called him Terrell Owens. He called him the player. And so Wade Phillips comes in. He has a great first year with Bill Parcells' team. And he was too up and down, too soft as a coach, whatever. And the team needed somebody like Jason Garrett to come in at first because he brought some stability. You know what I mean? And the 8-8 seasons, those 3 8-8 seasons, they lost they lost the division to the Giants, the Redskins, and the Eagles 3 straight years on the last game of the year. It's heartbreaking. And
I know what you do. I know.
After that third one,
because everybody watches the Cowboys, Trev.
You better believe it.
Everybody watches.
It's facts.
We've all seen it.
Google it.
We've seen it. We know.
You know, but then he comes in. They start getting the riffraff out of there. Start getting some talent in there. And he goes 12-4. And then things are looking up. And then what happens the next year? Now, this is all on Tony Romo the very next year. I lay all that on Tony Romo. Because he got hurt. And the team was, we had no backup. For that, we shot ourselves in the foot there. Good. We didn't have no backup plan if Tony Romo went down. All our eggs were in his basket. And so he goes down.
More like his golf bag.
So he goes down. And we come back. Then we have a 13-3 year. And so it's like, look, the 12-4, 4-12. And everybody in the team who went 4-12, everybody knew it was a good team. They just didn't have Romo. And then what happens? They go 13-3. So everybody's like, well, Danner could have been a double-digit win team 3 years in a row if Romo didn't go down that year. And I'd like to believe so. And then this year, I don't know. His coaching, his players, guys like Dez, like that's not helping the shit out, man. You know what I mean? Like, stop crying. You know, like,
everybody wants to win.
Everybody wants to win, right?
Yeah. Everybody wants to win. It's not just you.
Exactly.
It's not like Dak ain't trying. I watch. You're right. Everybody does watch. I watch a lot of Cowboys.
I understand you passionate about the game. You believe in yourself.
Sure, that's fine.
You know what I mean?
That's
you fine. You got numbers to back it up, but this year you don't have the numbers to back it up. You know, you have the targets. I'm looking at it. You got the targets that you had 132 targets. 69 receptions.
Who was second?
On the team?
Yeah, with targets. We got that? We got those numbers?
Yeah, I'll pull them up here right now.
Because that's really what you got to gauge it off. What is it that you're, what are we feeding you compared to everyone else? If Cole Beasley had 100 targets, I'm going to
Des Bryant had 132. Jason Witt had 87. Cole Beasley had 63.
Sounds right.
Bryce Butler had 23.
Okay. So aside from he had 113. How many targets? One more time. I'm sorry.
132.
132. So he had.
So where's Terrence Williams? Terrence Williams had 78.
He had 50 more targets. He had 50 more targets than Jason Garrett. Than Jason Witten. Right. Give or take a couple. He had 50 more targets than Jason Witten, who's a legend, who's a Hall of Famer.
He had 50 more targets than Jason Witten.
50 more targets, right, give or take maybe 3. And then he had, so that means he had almost 100 more, what is it?
All right, here.
60, almost 60, he has 70 more targets than the second receiver on the squad. So you're absolutely right. So 70 targets to the second guy who was on the team. So you're right. Des Bryant has nothing
Cole
to be
Beasley
complaining
also
about.
had a down year too, because Cole Beasley, he is at 57% this year. Last year he was at 76% on these catch rates. I'm not saying, I'm just getting into petty stats and everything like that.
Of course.
But this is numbers that contribute to down seasons. You know what I mean? Players are down. Like, players aren't performing at the level they were the year before. That's not coaching to me. Like, that's you going out there like this whole Des thing. Like, the 132 targets and only catching 69 of them. That's not coaching to me. You getting the ball. You know what I mean? You not doing nothing with it.
Yeah, you're right. And that's why you guys are 9-7.
Stop crying.
Sitting at home with Jason Garrett.
9-7.
So speaking of 9-7 and sitting at home, let's go ahead and move on, man. We've beat this fucking drum as much as we can. Let's take a look really quick since we're in the NFL at the wild card. We got wild card weekend coming in, man. Saturday at the 6th, we got the Titans and the Chiefs. Let's go Titans. And we got the we got the Falcons and the Rams. That's going to be a good game. We got and we'll get predictions here in a minute. We got and we'll play a little game this year, playoff game. We got Titans, Chiefs, Falcons, Rams. That's Saturday games. Sunday games, we got Bills, Jags. What a horrible fucking game that's going to be. And we got the Panthers and the Saints. Now, that's going to be a good game. Always division games in the playoffs. Those are always fun to watch. Titans and Chiefs, who you got?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
You remember that commercial? Back in the day, it was a Snicker commercial, and the guy he spelled chefs
because he was hungry.
And the guy was standing there. He's like, "That's pretty good, but who are the chefs?" So I always call them the chefs.
I hate them.
No doubt.
But if I'm going to beat you, you know what? Yeah. You know what? Fuck that.
Be smart.
Yeah, I am. Titans. I am smart. Andy Reid, the fucking Chiefs, all they do is choke in the fucking playoffs. That's exactly what they'll do again. They almost choked their fucking season away. Well, Falcons, Rams, what you got?
Falcons.
I'm already penciling in the Rams. I'm on the Rams wagon. This all playoffs, baby. I called them in the beginning. They're my wagon.
Yeah.
We got Bill. Yeah, they're my wagon this year. We got Bills and Jags.
That's a tough one. I almost want to say Bills, but I'm going with Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jags too. Even though that's weird. And then we got the
right. That's something like, man, do we want to pick the Jaguars? But they want to pick the Bills. The Bills haven't been in the playoffs for 17 years.
Yeah, there's reasons for these things, man. They got lucky. You guys weren't so fucking lucky, and neither were we. The Bills got it.
We shot ourselves in the foot. We don't need to rely on other teams to get us in. If we didn't
they did.
Be in,
they did. Panthers,
yeah,
Saints.
They did. Panthers, Saints. I'm going with the Saints.
Saints. I'm going with the Saints too. So my money here basically is the Titans and the Rams. I don't know. We'll do winner of the playoffs by 6-pack for the cast. Winner's choice.
Yep.
Boom. It's official. And then we got, of course, the Eagles are waiting for the lowest seed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they're waiting for the lowest seed to play them. Same thing with the Patriots. Steelers get the high seed. Vikings get the high seed. So like whatever team's higher, obviously, fellas, people, ladies, whatever teams higher in rankings will play the weaker of the teams out of the Patriots and the Steelers, which is the Steelers this time, and so on and so forth with the Eagles and the Vikings. And then until we get to the conference championships, which should be fun. But I got the Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
Any Super Bowl prediction?
Yeah, I do. I'm going with the Rams and the Patriots. Actually, excuse me. No, that's not what no, because I'm just looking at it. I'm going with the Rams and the Steelers. That's my Super Bowl pick.
Going with the Saints and the Steelers.
Saints and the Steelers.
I think Drew Brees gets someone.
Those are first predictions. We don't know how it's going to shake out, so I'm not going to write those down, right?
That's just right now.
That's just right now.
I was to say Drew Brees gets knocked out next week, and I'm like, oh, shit.
That's busted.
Well, I guess we'll go with Cam Newton now.
So that should be fun. I can't wait. I'm watching playoffs because you know, what else to do. So that wraps up the NFL. I can't wait for the playoffs to start. Let's move on to the next thing. Man, you coming over tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow? You gonna be sick? You gonna have a bug still?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
What time?
1:30.
Afternoon?
Afternoon.
Y'all can come by
1:30 Cali time.
for some Benfica.
You got it. That's what we're rolling into really quick. We're running it a little long today because we decided to yell at each other about
Nonsense.
the Rooney Rule. We argued for 20 minutes about the Rooney Rule. But Benfica plays Sporting tomorrow. It's the derby. Lisboa. The Lisboa derby. It's going to be fun. It's going to be I'm going to be nervous all day. It's one of those games where you're nervous. I expect it to be a classic match, just like they all are, even though on the outside, looking in, if you were just to look at the teams and, their form right now, obviously Sporting is in better form. Obviously they're in second place in the Liga NOS standings. We have the last three matches. We're coming into the last three matches. These are the last three Liga matches that Benfica had. They won Tondela 5-1, Estoril 3-1, and they drew with Porto 0-0. And then Sporting's last three matches, they're coming in 2-0 over Portimonense, Boa Vista 3-1, and Belenenses 1-0. Those are all wins. So they're coming off 3 wins recently. Those are the last 3 Liga NOS games. So they're coming, they're in form, as I said. They're tied for first place, and they have been all season. Just looking at them, the last, I want to say, the numbers that I have here are the last 6 matches that they had against each other, dating back to 2015. Sporting has won 3 of the last 6 matches. Benfica won 2, and drew 1. Last year. That was last year. That was a beautiful tie from Lindelof free kick. We all remember that. It was great. The game is in Estadio de Luz. It's a home game for Benfica. So Sporting will be traveling over to play Sporting. I think tomorrow's going to be fun, man. I think it's going to be a good game. I think tomorrow, if you come over, you get to watch this game. It's going to be one of those games you get to watch where it's not just some regular game where we're playing fucking Tondela and we're smacking them 5-1. It's going to be one of those games where every shot counts, every possession, every pass needs to be.
Is it an elimination game?
Not elimination. I mean, you can, if you want to be negative about the rest of the season, it could be an elimination game for Benfica. If they lose, they'll be 6 games back, and a lot of people, there'll be 18 matches left.
So you just sit there in first.
No. Porto's in first. The Sporting and Porto are tied for first, and Benfica's in third place right now. They're 3 points back. So if we win, we're tied for first place with Porto. And we have a draw against them, so the season can go either way. But if we lose, we'll be 6 points back with 18 matches left. To be honest, and I was gonna save this for the end, but I think if Benfica loses tomorrow, I don't believe that Rui Vitoria is our coach that's gonna be able to. I mean, he has before, and a lot of people are, well, he's done it before. Sporting, I get it. But this season's different. We've not been playing very well. It's looked bad, and when it's bad, it's really, really bad. But we haven't had too many dominant matches. We won Tondela 5-1, but you're supposed to. A lot of the matches have been close. We can't keep a lead for freaking anything. We get a score. That's what scares me. My grandpa says it too. If Benfica score first, we're gonna lose, or they're gonna tie. If Benfica scores first, Benfica's going to figure a way to mess it up. And it's true. They do. They figure a way to mess it up. Tomorrow's lineups, these are just probable lineups, and this is probably what you'll see tomorrow. We'll have Varela in goal, Almeida, right? Luisão, should be back. There's talks that he is. I'd rather see Luisão and Ruben Dias than because Luisão stops a lot of set pieces. We're shit with him, but we're even worse without him. So, but Jardel has been playing a little better. If you look at his player stats, his ratings, he has been rating high in a couple matches. But again, we've been playing shit teams. Grimaldo is questionable. Our left back is questionable. He's always questionable. There's talks that he might be out to Napoli, out of Napoli. $30 million transfer. So we might be selling him for $30 million probably in a couple days maybe. So he might not play for that. Might be a sign that he's on his way out, that he's not going to play that game because they're not going to want to injure. Maybe they're not going to want to risk him getting injured or anything like that and having the deal fall through. But then you'll have PZ, Feja, and Krovinovic, Servi on the left, Jonas up top in the middle, and Salviu on the other side of Jonas. For Sporting, you'll have Bastos at top. Excuse me, let me start in the back. We have Rui Patricio in goal. We have Piccini, Coach, Matteo, Contral, Trader, William Carvalho, Bataglia, Martins, Bruno Fernandes, Acuna, and Bastos up top. Striker who's very lethal. Scoring goals now. He's scoring a lot more goals than he had been. Jonas, we need to get him a goal. I think if Jonas scores, we'll win. That's my little fun fact, really quick. But tomorrow's going to be intense, Trev. I think, again, you come over, it should be fun. We're both scoring goals. Benfica does have, I want to say, 37 goals. Sporting's coming in with 31. So it's going to be, I think there's going to be some goals scored. I don't think it's going to be played as tight as the Porto game was. At least I hope not. I mean, at this point, if Rui Vitória isn't coaching for his job, he's only coaching for draws, we won't be seeing him back next year at all. I hope not. I hope it's not a Cowboys situation where we're bringing back mediocrity. Because that's not what Benfica is. We're not mediocre. We're the biggest club in Portugal. And we haven't been acting like it this season. But there are a couple facts here that we have on these stats that I'm using here. There have been over 2.5 goals scored in 19 of the Benfica's last 23 home games. So there are going to be some goals scored at Estádio da Luz tomorrow during the day. We are undefeated in our last 30 home matches. So we haven't lost in the Liga NOS. So Liga NOS matches were undefeated in the last 30 home games. Whether that be a win or a draw, we haven't lost. So Sporting's coming into basically, enemy territory, and it's hostile in there. We also have, it says here, Sporting have been winning at both halftime and full-time in their last 4 matches. So Sporting has not only been scoring goals early, but obviously winning matches and leading. So there's a lot of things to look forward to in this game. It could be a big swing. We can smack Sporting back to third place where they normally are, as being the third biggest club in Portugal. So it's time to, I think Benfica, this is the kind of game where Benfica could come in and set the tone for the rest of the year. Coming in January window, get a transfer or two. Yeah, they said 20 million. Yeah, right. We'll see. But tomorrow is going to be a great game, and I hope you come through to watch, bro. I'm going to go pick up my grandpa. He's really nervous about it. He already said, he called me today. He says, I got to buy fish. He's going to fry fish in the morning. He's going to wake up at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning to fry fish to bring over. So I got to go get some beers. He said, we have some beers, cerveja, we'll have some fish. That's how he says it. And we'll watch Benfica win. That's what he told me before I let him go today. So we'll be here with Pops. I'm gonna go pick him up, have some beer, some fish, some Portuguese fish, man. He's gonna fry it up, bro. So we're gonna watch Benfica the right way tomorrow.
Sounds bomb.
My prediction tomorrow is Benfica win. Well, of course, Caralho. 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. Benfica wins. Smack Sporting back to where they belong, third place. But just a little more on that. Both teams are coming in playing really good football. Given the standings one more time, Sporting has been playing better than we have. But
shit happens.
Shit happens. Right. It's time to turn those things around. And let them know. We're back. It'll be, like I said, we're 3 points back. If we can get a win tomorrow, Trev, it'd be real nice, bruh. It'd be real nice. And I don't gotta work. I'm gonna be here all night, chilling, getting ready for this, thinking of ways that Benfica's gonna win. I'm gonna play FIFA in a little bit. Think about how they're gonna kill it. It's like, if they do it just like this.
Pre-game on some FIFA.
If we run this play, we got a chance. But that's not really how it works. Unfortunately.
Coach. Run this.
Yeah, run this play. But he won't. There is also, let's see here. What else we got here? So we got the game tomorrow. Game 1:30 for me, California time. If you're not in California, do the math. So 3 hours ahead to East Coast. Portugal time's 8 hours ahead after that. It'll be a 1:30 game in the afternoon. We'll be eating fish and drinking beer. And we'll be watching Benfica win 2-1. Also, we got the transfer market open in soccer, and this can get us a little bit to our questions here. We can get to our questions. We do got transfer market news and notes coming in. For me, for Benfica, I wanted to sign Rafinha really bad. It looks like we're a little late on that. That's not going to happen. It looks like reports are that he's going to Sporting.
The enemy?
Yeah, the enemy. He's an electric player, man. They're going to... I don't know. They got a lot of great wingers over there. Gelson, I'm really worried about Gelson Martins tomorrow. He's a beast. But also I also wrote down I wanted Mauricio Limos, Las Palmas. I've said this many times before on Twitter. He's just a big dude from Las Palmas, Uruguay. He's young, hungry, coming from Spain, come to Portugal, create a dynasty with my dude Ruben Dias, let's win the painter that way. Also want to sign Gaitan, of course, for obvious reasons. I shouldn't even have to get into that, really. Really quick, there is some transfer news in regards to soccer. We're back to still soccer, Trev. I'm sorry. Let me just get through this. Top transfer. So I wanted to take a look at this because we got the top 30 transfer targets for this January. So there is some transfer rumors, like Limar from Monaco. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. You never know with these guys. Their target, Arsenal's looking at Limar from Monaco. So another stud from Monaco that they're letting go. We also have Malcolm from Bordeaux. Looks like who's looking at him? Manchester United's linked with Malcolm for Bordeaux. That'd be a nice little signing, young cat. Alexis Sanchez, again, always in transfer rumors. Man City wants to make a move for Alexis Sanchez. That'd be pretty crazy. Other ones, note, Coutinho from Liverpool, Barcelona has been looking strong at getting Coutinho from Liverpool. I think it's pretty much a done deal. I think Barcelona's going to sign him. It's going to be some crazy shit like 210 million euros or some crazy. Also, Griezmann from Atletico. There's always rumors of him going again to Barcelona, Real. If they get Griezmann and Coutinho, Jesus, I wouldn't even know what the point of playing soccer for in Europe anymore is. But moving on, we can get to the Twitter questions.
What we got?
Let's see here, man. We got a couple from our Mega Thread. Shout out to the Mega Thread. Those who will have to bear with us from, again, the arguing about the Rooney Rule. We apologize about that. Just give me 1 second here. Let me pull this up. Let's see. And then we'll do the questions, and then we'll end with where there's smoke, there's fire. Pull up the house pod right there. Okay. We'll do it from the order that I got them. Right here on my computer. Sorry it's taking so long. Hate dead air. Well, we had a comment from Mario. Follow Mario. He's great. He's great. Benfiquista at m.slb. Mario said, you guys buying some legal supply from the local shop for prep for the pod? Answer's no, because I've seen receipts from people buying local pot, like legal pot. Like, I seen $152 for a quarter. That's crazy. That's nuts. I won't pay more than 60, and that's on fire.
I can stay until the sun comes up talking about that.
Let's see here.
Corporate
Mario, here's Mario question. Footy wise, what teams do you expect to spend big on the transfer window? I'll answer that. The same old guys. Barcelona, if they get Coutinho, that's 210 mil. You know, if they go, I mean, it could be, who knows? It could be upwards of that. Bayern Munich, I see they're looking at Cuadrado, if I'm not mistaken. But the same old people, I think. Barcelona, Bayern Munich, you know, they like to take young talent from around the world and loan them out. But I think as far as the transfer window goes this season, the same old guys. Barcelona, Real Madrid. I don't know about Real Madrid. I haven't heard too much rumblings about people going to Real Madrid. I don't know if they're probably banned for some shit still. We got Benfica transfer rumors. There are a lot of transfer rumors. We got. I read earlier that Rakip signed. He's a young. I don't know if he's French or I don't know. I don't know who he is really, to be honest. But I heard we signed him. I wanted Rafinha, but it looks like we're a little too late on that. Like we're not gonna get him. Maybe we got a shot at Chaves. If that's how you say it, Chaves. Yeah, from Braga. From Braga. He plays for Braga. Maybe we can get him. Maybe somebody local. And he asked also, based on the NBA season so far, who do you think is gonna win the champion? Who's gonna be the champions?
Warriors.
I agree. They are absolutely the best team in the NBA, hands down. Look at what they did as far as the season goes. I mean,
Steph Curry just came back and he went off.
All right, look at what they did without him. They won 11-1.
Yeah,
11-1.
Isaiah Thomas came in tonight.
I mean, when you got a team like that who can win games. You know, when one of their best players are out because they have, you know, another great player in Kevin Durant. I mean, I don't see, aside from every person on that team getting injured, the Warriors not winning the NBA championship this year. As far as that goes, I mean, we're in the Bay. We get to see a lot of that stuff, so it's definitely easy to see that on an everyday basis here, and actually kind of lucky. Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. From my buddy Bruno. He's a Sporting fan. I'll tell you why here in a minute. He says, who stays and who leaves in Oakland? I think Crabtree's out. I've been waiting for I knew we had this question. I've been waiting. I think Crabtree's gone. I think Rich Gannon said it himself. He said he's gone. Crabtree won't be an Oakland Raider next year. I think he's gone. I think he lost his job in the third quarter of the game.
Which game?
The Chargers game. Completely gave up. As a matter of fact, he probably lost his job during the Denver Broncos game.
Yeah.
So I think he's out. I think Marshawn Lynch stays. I think we're gonna see a lot of people stay. I think Seth Roberts is out.
This is gonna be the conundrum to what you guys do. Who stays? Who goes?
You're right.
You know, because it's gonna determine. It's going to determine the direction of the team. Good kind of team you guys are going to be.
You're right. And I think if Gruden comes and he gets guys out like that, like Crabtree, who are really in it from themselves, obviously, he gave up during the middle of the season. That's what I saw. Drop balls. His head wasn't in it. I was tired of seeing that fro come out of that helmet every fucking week.
His helmet always comes off.
Every time. That stupid fro. He also says free agents. So who stays and who leaves? Free agents and which positions need to be addressed in the draft for Oakland? I think I touched on only a little bit in the draft for Oakland. I think middle linebacker needs to be addressed, even though I like to keep Bowman. But if you can get another linebacker on the other side of Irvin, Bowman, You got Bowman, Irvin, and get another stud linebacker. We definitely need a safety. Reggie Nelson's not gonna cut it for me. He's just not. He's not the one. He's not the guy that's should be anchoring that back line. He's a hawk. He's supposed to intercept balls. You know, he didn't. He got what? No, it wasn't even him. He didn't get no interceptions this year. Zero picks for my safety. So I think
Bowman had the first pick.
So that's another guy. So
Sean Smith had two against
right.
us in one game.
Yep. So that's what I think. I think as far as who stays and who goes, guys like that. Reggie Nelson out. Crabtree out. Seth Roberts out. Guys that are not going to be making plays are out. John Gruden's been known to cut people on the field during a game. He cut Ryan Dunn, David Dunn. Heard it today. Greg Papa said it. Cut David Dunn. He fumbled the ball. We lost the game in overtime to the Arizona Cardinals. He fumbled the ball, and when he came off the sideline, he said, "You're done." He was cut He was cut right after the game.
That's good.
Gone. You're out. That's the kind of coach is going to come to Oakland. You're done. All right, and that's what it is. We all know that. At least we'll give him that. He'll come in. He'll do some shit like that.
Yeah.
And this one's for you. Is Dez worth top money in Dallas, or should they cut their losses? Say he'll not take a pay cut if he doesn't take a pay cut, because they do. Oh, excuse me. He says he won't take a pay cut.
No, I wouldn't take a pay cut neither if I was him.
So do you think that they part ways with him? Do you think he's worth the money?
No, they don't part ways with him because, like I said, the past 2 years been injury riddled. This year, the whole team was down. So you like to believe the guy has something left in that tank still. You know, it's his 7th year. I don't have his numbers up anymore. Yeah, but I don't know. I think he's gonna see what he got next year, see where he's at, and if next year is more the same, then you wash your hands. You know, because if he gets another full season of what he did this year, then obviously, you know, we can't be a part of that. But if you come in next year and you do what you used to do before you got hurt, everything will be kosher. You know, if you stop crying, everything should be fine.
Do your fucking job, huh?
Just do your fucking job.
I hear. And then he says Sporting wins 3-1 tomorrow for this. We'll see about that, buddy. We'll see about that. Thanks for the questions, guys. I really appreciate it. That makes it makes it a lot easier for us to, you know, get a little more content on the show. So I will be reaching out to the Mega Thread. I really appreciate that, guys. The questions for today. Let's start wrapping this thing up with really quick. We'll just run through where there's smoke, there's fire. Since we've talked about it before, we got the Red Sox offering J.D. Martinez, reportedly offered him a 5-year contract for offered 5-year contract or 5 to 7 year contract for $210 million. Wow, that's crazy. Could the Giants match something like that? Could you?
No, we don't need J.D. Martinez.
No,
he's like 30.
Is he?
I think he's a little older. He's been in the league for a little while.
All baseball players are really old, though.
Yeah, but we don't need J.D. Martinez.
Not for that kind of money. Isaiah Thomas returned to the Cavs tonight. They got the win. He scored 17 points off the bench in 18 minutes, I want to say.
Not too shabby.
What you think about that? Is that Oh, excuse me. I apologize. J.D. Martinez rumors to the Red Sox. $210 million. $210 million. Is that smoke or fire?
I don't know. It could be some fire because the Red Sox are gonna do whatever they can do to try to keep up with the Yankees, but that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I think the 210 is definitely fire. Isaiah Thomas returned to the Cavs, as I mentioned his numbers. They won tonight. Smoke or fire?
Smoke. Fuck the Cavs.
Smoke.
The whole team's full of smoke.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. We had John Gruden. John Gruden offered the Oakland contract. He did comment on it finally, and he said, "I think I'm being considered for the Raiders head coaching job." Those were his comments on the.
Yeah, I think we all know how we feel about that.
I think that's fire.
That's a big fire.
Big fire. Bonfire.
Burning Man fire.
Then we also got Marvin Lewis returns as Cincinnati Bengals head coach through 2019. So
I thought I saw at the beginning of the year that he wasn't going to coach no more after this year.
I thought that was Bruce Arians.
No, I thought that was Marvin Lewis. And then out of nowhere, and he gets this new contract extension. don't know.
He's got something dirty on the owner.
It's got to.
He's got something on him.
It's got some blackmail.
He's got some blackmailage on the. He's
Look
got
here.
to have some picture.
I need 2 more years.
I did write this
motherfucker.
down on the Smoke Where There's Fire. It says Marvin Lewis. This was the headline on I seen on Bleacher Report today. It said Marvin Lewis's extension is a commitment to the mediocrity. It says Marvin Lewis' extension is a commitment to mediocrity by Bengals. Jesus. What a headline. Carson Palmer retires again.
I wonder where Larry Fitz is gonna go now, because I'm sure he ain't gonna want to stay in fucking Arizona. I hope he doesn't. I hope he fucking
You
leaves.
think he retired too?
No.
I'd love Larry Fitzgerald on the Raiders with John Gruden. John Gruden would love that.
Yeah, I don't see that. He's gonna go. If he plays for anybody, he's gonna play for a contender.
So he retires. Smoke or fire, Cardinals. How about his career? Carson Palmer, smoke or fire? His career.
He's got, what is it, 12th most passing yards all time?
Really?
12th most passing touchdowns all time? So he's top 15 quarterback all time.
That's fire. Play for the Bengals, though.
He had that one nasty injury where the fucking Steelers did him dirty, broke his knee in the game.
That was dirty.
Kind of how the Ravens did Rich Gannon, the John Gruden era.
Yep, I remember that. And then I seen this one. Diego Costa returns to. I know you don't know this was my first smoke fire. Diego Costa returns to Atletico with high expectations. So Diego Costa played for Atletico for many years. Not many years, but he played for them. Left to Chelsea. He's coming back. They got high expectations for him. Is it smoke or fire? I think it's smoke. I think Diego Costa's better years are behind him. It's just a signing to appease fans, possibly. They're the third. I forgot who it was today that said it. It said like Sporting Lisbon's like Atletico's like Sporting. You know, they just know that the third team in Spain. That's all they'll ever be. It's the third team in Spain. Also, we got no. That's it. Boom. We're done. We ran a little hot. We ran a little hot and heavy today. So we're going to roll out finally on a good note, as opposed to the first 30-20 minutes of crackling and yelling and such of that nature. We're going to wrap it up.
Wrap that shit up, B.
By telling you guys to please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. We're trying to get 100 YouTube followers, YouTube subscribers, so we can go ahead and get our URL. It is what it is. So if we can
working on that.
Yeah, we're working on that, guys. So if we can get us some likes and some subscribers, anybody you know with a Google account, YouTube account, if it's your mother, your father, your sister, brother, fucking have them subscribe to the High on Sports podcast. Make sure they're of age, of course. We apologize again for the crackling. We got a couple comments on that. We're really sorry about that. We're gonna have to really find our volume here. Have to do some more test runs, yell as much as we can into the mic at a certain volume. Yeah, and see how much crackles and how much don't. So please, again, like our our YouTube page, High on Sports Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at HOSPOD1. That's HOSPOD1. We also have a Facebook account. We don't get a lot of traffic on there. It's hard to keep up with Facebook, Twitter, and all that. Get us on Twitter. It's the best way to get us. Again, like our YouTube page. And thanks for dealing with the hot and heavy show today.
Yeah,
we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys listening, and we will be back next Tuesday for another episode of High on Sports. We out.
Peace.